Welcome back to Volkswagen Racing PlayStation. We continue to cover the Wildcard Challenge, not Wildcard Series. As we mentioned in round 1, it's the Wildcard Challenge, it's round 2. We continue to be in the UK at Snetterton, the 300 version of the circuit, and of course we continue to run the Mercedes DTM car in the Project Cars 2. So it's another race, another challenge for these old folks around Snetterton. We do have quite a reduced field today. Only 7 drivers in this race. We hope to have more in the coming round. It's Diogo Silva on pole, followed by Darren Head. Gonçalo Mota coming back to the series, followed by Simon Allen. Scott Davely, Kev Allen, and David Emge also back. We are missing a few regulars. Should be a good opportunity for some other drivers to also score some points. So let's see how they're going to do across this circuit, and it's a good start by Diogo Silva, the pole position man, who immediately goes defensive there against Darren Head. Let's see if we have a leaderboard. We seem to have a leaderboard, which is good. Diogo Silva in control in turn 1, followed by Darren Head. There is Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo Mota on the grass there, and another driver also on the grass. That's I believe Scott Davely. So plenty of action here, also with Simon Allen is in the middle of it, as is Kev Allen. Kev Allen and Simon Allen with the same livery. Let's see. Well, Gonçalo Mota, despite the fact that he was on the grass, he did manage to hold on to that third spot. But look at this: third, fourth, sixth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, almost nose to tail. This is great racing here. Simon Allen is now on the outside of Gonçalo Mota, but it's not going to work, unfortunately, because the next corner is to the left. But Simon Allen trying to do a bit of a jig. Oh no, they collide, Gonçalo Mota and Simon Allen. What on earth happened there? Simon Allen in third now, and Gonçalo Mota is in last. Let's see. Let's have a replay of what happened here, as I'm not sure if, well, there was contact for sure. The question is, who's at fault? Now Simon Allen gets out of it there, tries to go on the inside here, and and Gonçalo Mota started to spin and then held on to it, but was pretty much at reduced speed in the middle of the track, ends up basically dropping to last. And here comes Scott Davely. Scott Davely on the outside of Simon Allen. The outside of Kev Allen, sorry. Simon Allen is in third place. This is a battle for fourth place. And Scott Davely now is going to take the position, or is he? Because this is absolutely beautiful racing here at the back straight of the Snetterton circuit. But at the end, it's Scott Davely up into fourth place. Let's have a look at the race leaders, as they are now checking out from other drivers, Diogo Silva and Darren Head. Already 4 seconds with all these shenanigans happening behind them. These two drivers are pretty much now on their own, with Simon Allen in third, Scott Davely in fourth. In the fifth place is David Emge, that was off the track here. It ends up losing a position to Gonçalo Mota, who's already recovered to fifth, because Kev Allen has had a problem as well, and he has got another problem. Kev Allen is off the track, and he was also off the track earlier, surely because he didn't drop to sixth place just by virtue of being overtaken by other drivers, I believe. Oh, and they've come together. No. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It might have been David Emge. Was there contact? Yes, I think there was contact between David Emge and Kev Allen. Here comes Gonçalo Mota. Now Kev Allen is going to go around David, and they're going to come together yet again, just in a matter of... Oh, and at this time, was there contact there? Was there contact? We're not sure. We're going to have one final replay of this incident, as we're still on lap 1. And actually we'll have a replay at both incidents to confirm whether there was contact between David Emge and Kev Allen. It seems to be the case, because David was probably waiting to give back the position, which is always good to see. Let's have a look at what happened here. This is of course that very annoying chicane of this circuit, and yes, there was contact, and Kev Allen was turned around, gets back onto the track. Gonçalo Mota is going to overtake. David Emge is waiting, wanting to give the position back, and then does he just go back into the racing line, or oh, and that contact again, and Kev bizarrely gets thrown to the right-hand side of the track, not the left-hand side, and now has a lot of work to do. But a slightly bizarre incident, the second one between these two drivers. In any case, at the front, it's well, nose to tail between Diogo Silva and Darren Head, who, in the absence of other drivers today, are aiming for the big points in this round. Third is Simon Allen, 4 seconds behind. Fourth is Scott Davis, then is Gonçalo Mota, David Emge, and Kev Allen is already 33 seconds off the lead of this race. We are on lap 2 out of 10. It's a pretty long lap around here at Snetterton. Very tricky circuit with this particular car. As Diogo Silva, that number 91, leading for the first time in this Wildcard Challenge of 2024, but Darren Head has other ideas, and he really wants that lead as well, especially in this middle part of the circuit. It seems to me that Darren is clearly faster than Diogo. Now into the back straight, and Diogo is sliding around a little bit too much. That's probably hurting his tires. Here comes Darren Head. Now, can he make a move on the back straight? Can he make a move on the back straight? He's thinking about it. The next corner is to the left, but the real corner is to the right. Here comes Darren Head. Darren Head and Diogo Silva. Is he going to leave him room? Yes, he is going to leave him room. And oh! Diogo Silva slides into Darren Head there as he clipped the curb. Continues to hold on to that lead, but the guy loving this must be Simon Allen, and you can see on the leaderboard the gap, which was 4 seconds, is now 2.5. So very quickly Simon Allen is becoming a contender as well, as also these two drivers are probably just working their tires a little bit too hard. Diogo Silva had a nice exit there out of the last corner and got himself a little bit of breathing space. Look at this, Simon Allen is just a second and a half behind Darren Head now on lap 3. We'll keep an eye on other battles as Scott Davis is running on his own, so is Gonçalo Mota, so is David Emge, and so is Kev Allen. So the closest battle is indeed the battle for the lead, which we shall continue to follow as different lines there through the hairpin, but Simon Allen already much closer to Darren Head. In fact, Diogo Silva now had a good exit from that hairpin and opened a gap of around a second. Darren Head is a second behind, obviously, and Simon Allen is actually not that far behind. 1.3 seconds is the gap. Now the top 3 can be seen on the same screenshot. Still plenty of racing to go though here at Snetterton, but good to see, despite the depleted field we have this week, with a few people away on holiday, some late summer holidays for some of the old folks. Good to see the top 3 being so close in this race, despite the rather depleted field that we have here today. Diogo Silva is really working his tires in that corner leading into the back straight. Let's move the camera to Darren Head now to the back straight here in Snetterton, a circuit that not often we race on here at Old Fox Racing PlayStation. This is the critical part of the track. Very easy to make a mistake through here. We do have potentially a battle emerging for 4th place, as Gonçalo Mota is only 3 seconds behind Scott Davis, so we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll keep an eye on the lap times as well. Now at the end of lap number 3, so 30% of the race is gone. Let's have a look at the times of the top 3 contenders right now. Diogo Silva at 1:59.530, that's a good one. 1:59.8 for Darren Head, 1:59.324. That's Simon Allen, the fastest driver on this track, and the only 3 drivers as well, the top 3 that are under 2 minutes. No, Gonçalo Mota has also done a 1:59.967. 960, sorry. It's only around half a second faster than Scott Davis. Nevertheless, he's reducing that gap and could contend for 4th place later on in the race. It's going to be difficult to make it to the top 3, as now we get into a more stabilized stage of this race. Diogo Silva then slight off there at that one of the many hairpins that we have here at Snetterton 300 circuit. This is Cameron Darren Head. Now the camera on Simon now, and actually let's go on board with Simon. He can see the two leaders, and it's such a motivation when you do see the two leaders ahead. Now the question is, can he get closer? No, he cannot get closer. That we almost lost it there at the exit of that corner, and that's going to really hurt because it's a massive straight there where Simon Allen does not benefit from full speed, and as a result he lost. He's now 1.8 seconds away from Darren Head. So Simon Allen a little bit sluggish there through that final section. Let's have a look at the view from Gonçalo Mota's on board. Oh, and Gonçalo Mota is off. Gonçalo Mota is off. Gonçalo Mota is completely off, and he was going fast and recovering time to Scott Davey. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case, as he has lost an enormous amount of time with that off-road excursion. The gap now is, look at that, the gap is 6 seconds. That's an absolute disaster for Gonçalo Mota. He's going too fast in the last corner, is he? No. He manages to recover well. David Emge in 6th place, and then is Kev Allen. Kev Allen has made another mistake. He's done a 2:13 on the last lap. That's not going to help his cause. So Kev Allen is definitely out of contention. He's 48 seconds off the lead. He's 24 seconds away from David Emge in 6th place. So he is perhaps doing a bit of a practice session already, thinking about race 2. He's still in 7th though, which in normal circumstances, which such a competitive field, is not a bad result. So let's keep an eye on Kev Allen, whether he can recover any ground. Darren Head has been closer than these to Diogo Silva. 1.6 seconds is the gap. Simon Allen is well, not a great lap time. The last time around 2:00.554. That drift really hurt him there on the previous lap. Two drivers on the 159s. That's Diogo Silva 1:59.256, and Darren Head only a tenth of a second behind, as Darren continues to chase Diogo Silva for the lead of this race. Darren Head looking for his second victory already this season, as he won race 2 of round 1. Jorge Jesus won the other race. He's not here today, so maybe we'll have a new winner, most likely Diogo Silva, or maybe we'll have another Darren Head victory. Let's look at the lap times of the leaders. The top two are about to cross the line for the midpoint of this race. 1:59.469 for Diogo Silva, and Darren Head not a great lap here, 2:00.04. A bit of sliding around the corners is not the way to gain time here. Simon Allen at 2:03, so he is definitely out of contention at this point, unless he finds a lot of pace in the second half of this race. Scott Davey, we haven't seen that much of that. Number 54 is running on his own. He's 4 seconds behind Simon, and 5 seconds ahead of, what's basically 6 seconds ahead of Gonçalo Mota, completing the top 5. David Emge 2:03. He has been almost 3 seconds slower than Gonçalo Mota. Is overshooting that to happen quite a bit, but he still has a massive gap over Kev Allen, who's just crossing the line. Let's see, this is going to be a representative time of Kev Allen's ability with this car. 2:01.701. Not a great time there for Kev. He's still a couple of seconds faster than David, but at this rate he's not going to be enough to contend for 6th place, as we see Diogo Silva now a bit more comfortable. He was the only driver on the 159s the last time round. Lap 6 is about to be completed, so we will have 60% of the race. It's easy math due to the fact that the race is indeed scheduled for 10 laps, as Diogo Silva going to get his first win of the season if he does indeed finish in this position. Not a lot of battles on the track at the moment. Let's keep an eye on Simon Allen. Actually, Simon Allen is not that far ahead Scott Davely. Simon Allen was much closer to the leaders there. Scott Davely there. He is, well, still it's around, well, it's less than 4 seconds, less than 5 seconds, sorry, 4.5 seconds. Simon Allen crosses the line at 2:01. And look at this on lap 6 again. Diogo Silva has made a good lap, 1:59.434. Very consistent, the Portuguese driver, and then had again above the 2-minute mark. Maybe his tires are not that good anymore. Simon Allen is not making any progress either. 2:01, 2:01.4, 2:01.9 for and Gonçalo Mota has had a problem, has had another problem which we haven't seen, but he clearly has dropped behind 2:10. That clearly was another off-road excursion. Now he's definitely out of contention, and he's only 3 seconds away, 3 seconds ahead, sorry, of David Emge. So the closest battles on the track are now Gonçalo Mota and David, and of course the two leaders that we've been tracking throughout this race. Lap 7 already out of 10. Of course, the fewer drivers we have in these races, the less action we are going to see. We had some good action at the front, but at the moment, look at this, Diogo Silva already 3 seconds up. So Diogo is running away with this race as it stands, but still 3 laps to go at the end of this one, and always the potential for drivers to make mistakes. So we shall see how this is going to work until the end, but as it stands, Diogo Silva then ahead, and Simon Allen now with 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds. The gap is more or less stable. Scott Davely was a little bit slower, half a second slower compared to Simon Allen. So let's go and see this lap now. Lap 7 is when the trouble with the tires starts to hit. It seems to me that, well, Darren looked a little bit closer, but the leaderboard says otherwise. 3.2 seconds. Diogo Silva now, he's above 2 minutes as well, 2:00.239, but still half a second faster than Darren on this lap. The gap is 3.5 seconds. Darren had tried to hold on to that hope of challenging for the win, but it doesn't look likely. Although now is the tricky, and you can see already Darren in trouble there at the hairpin. His tires are completely gone, and now this is where driver ability to just manage the tires and just manage to put together some decent lap times, not the fastest lap times, some decent lap times without making mistakes is going to be critical. Simon Allen was faster than Darren, 0.7 of a second, but that's a little bit too little for what he needs to gain. You can see the gap there is 5.5 seconds. Scott Davely also not making much progress. Scott Davely has been around half a second slower than Simon Allen in the past 3 laps, so quite consistent pace for Simon Allen and also for Scott. Unfortunately for Scott, his pace is slower in this race, and that's not going to work. Gonçalo Mota did a pretty good time, 2:00.491. That's very solid for a 7th lap with this car and the associated tire wear. However, he's just too far behind. David Emge trying to hold on, but he's done the 2:03, is off into the grass again, which is not going to help his cause. And Kev Allen has had another off. He's having a disastrous race. Kev Allen really in 7th place. He's not going to, well, his position cannot be lower, so he might as well just practice a little bit more. He still has the points for 7th place, and he's going to come stronger surely during race 2. Now Diogo Silva has made a poor lap now, and he's sliding all over the place. Lap 9, Darren had all of a sudden got back that half a second that he had lost on the previous lap, but still Diogo Silva 2.4 seconds ahead of Darren Head as they now enter the closing stages of this race. Now there is this is a major development because Simon Allen has made a mistake and has lost the podium position to Scott Davely. The gap was around 5.5 seconds. We are going to rewind to see a replay of what happened, and I believe it was in the last corner. Was it? Yes, it was. And Simon, let's see what happens here. He just comes a little bit too hot, and then he struggles to stop. He goes off the track and does quite a low speed spin, recovers quite quickly, but not quickly enough to avoid losing a position to Scott Davely. So Scott, all of a sudden, his consistency has been key to actually being in this third position, but only 2 laps to go now. But at least we have a battle that potentially could be a little bit more wheel to wheel, because as we've seen before, Simon Allen can actually be quicker than Scott Davely. It's just a matter now of they collided. They collided. That happened. This was a little bit sluggish by Simon Allen, and he will wait to give back the position, which is great to see. Now, of course, any ideas that these drivers might have had to challenge for the top 2 positions are now completely gone with 1.5 laps to go. Also, Gonçalo Mota all of a sudden can see them in the horizon. We go on board with Gonçalo, and he must be wondering what was going on, but this is a pretty sluggish collision between Simon Allen and Gonçalo Mota now in sympathy, also going through the grass, and he's really struggling to get that car under control, and any hopes that Gonçalo Mota could actually make it to put some pressure on either Simon Allen or Scott Davely are gone, because he's now lost a few seconds as well. So all the drivers are making mistakes. Diogo Silva is not making any mistakes. That's why he's leading this race, and he's about to enter his last lap. Darren had 2.6 seconds. Now it's very difficult, it doesn't look like it, but it's very difficult to stop the car right here and still get the right line. Let's look at the lap times of the 2 leaders. It's going to be absolutely critical. Just 1 more lap to go. And Diogo Silva, is he struggling? No, he's not struggling. 2:004 is a pretty decent lap time. He's also 0.4 of a second faster than Darren had at this point. The gap is 3.5. Now what Diogo has to do is to really just take it home. Simon Allen is trying to get to the back of Scott Davely. Instead, he went into the grass. That's not going to help. Again, it's a very long straight line over here. Not ideal to lose time entering or exiting the final corner as well. Scott Davely got himself a little bit of breathing space, but they are 22 seconds behind the leader, Diogo Silva, after that collision. Then it's Simon Allen, of course, in 4th. 5th is Gonçalo Mota, 6 seconds behind, 5.5 seconds behind. 6th is David Emge, and a minute behind the leader is Kev Allen. So Diogo Silva is en route to become the 3rd different winner in 3 races here at Snetterton. He is going to get his first win of the season, in fact his first win in a while. He's still leading the Piston Cup standings, but plenty of challengers there still until the end of the year. But that number 91 is going to get some really good points today at Snetterton. Just a few more corners to go, and now it's just a matter of avoiding mistakes. He's negotiating the last sector of Snetterton. Darren Head is a little bit closer, 3 sec 2.9, but it's a little bit too late to mount a challenge, as Diogo Silva literally just has to get through this really long corner and then just not lose it in the last corner and stop on time. He's taking it conservatively, and he's going to take the checkered flag. Diogo Silva is going to win race 1 here at Snetterton, followed by Darren Head. Darren Head also strengthens his lead in the championship, as he was 2nd, 1st, and now 2nd. He's done a really good job. Look at this. Simon Allen has recovered and is really going for 3rd place. Scott Davely is just 1 more corner to go, and look at this. Simon Allen, is he going to get side by side? Can he get the move done? Simon Allen over the line. I don't think it's going to happen. No. Scott Davely 3rd, Simon Allen 4th. This was a good battle. 5th is going to be Gonçalo Mota. 6th is going to be David Emge. and he's going to get ahead of Kev Allen. Kev Allen did not have the race that he wanted, but oh no, just clips that massive curve that at the end of that chicane. A few more corners to go for these two drivers as David Emge comes to take the checkered flag. He finishes in 6th place, and Kev Allen is going to follow him 11 seconds behind and complete the race as well. Every driver completed the race on the lead lap as well, and surprisingly, given that the field was not very big today and it's a pretty long lap. So Diogo Silva, Darren Head and Scott Davely. So that was race 1 for you. We should proceed now immediately to give you the coverage of race 2. We hope to see the same 7 drivers as we saw in race 1. So there you go, Snetterton 300. We are back at Snetterton for another 10 laps. Let's hope that this second race provides a little bit more action. Darren Head was a challenger during the first half of the race, but then not really on the second half of the race. There is the beautiful Snetterton circuit, despite its rather phallic shape to some extent. Not a circuit that every driver loves, but as we have to fit most of the available circuits across almost 80, well, not almost, exactly 80 races in 1 year, we do have to come to places like Snetterton, and often the Wildcard Challenge is a good championship to put them on. So race 2, we now have again, well, we have 8 drivers, as we have Matty Oliver joining for the second race. That's great to see Matty back as well in Norfolk Racing PlayStation. Diogo Silva and Gonçalo Mota on the front row. Gonçalo Mota after that 5th place, wanting more in the second race. Second row is Simon Allen, Darren Head. Third row is Scott Davely and Kev Allen, and fourth row is Matty Oliver and David Emge. So we shall, without further ado, go for the start of this race, and it is, oh, Gonçalo Mota, what a great start by Gonçalo Mota. That was a very good start by Gonçalo Mota. Diogo Silva from pole position had a poor start. Darren Head is going to go into second place, or is he? This is going to be a side-by-side racing. Diogo Silva, is he going to go on the outside? Yes, he is. He's trying to desperately hold on to that second place, as Simon Allen wants a piece of that action too. Now into the hairpin, and whoa, a little bit of pushing and shoving, but everyone is trying to behave. And actually this battle between Darren, Diogo and Simon is music for the ears of Gonçalo Mota, who has taken the lead of this race and is already checking out. Simon Allen in 4th, 5th is Scott Davely, 6th is Matthew Oliver, 7th is David Emge, and 8th place is Kev Allen. A poor start for Kev Allen in this race. We didn't see any contact, but we are going to just rewind to ensure that we did not miss any incident on this opening lap. And the only possible driver that we can think that was involved in some sort of action was Kev Allen. He was off the road. Did he have any assistance? He is on the inside there. He's clipping the curb. Not the ideal line through that corner, and now he's trying to make a move on Scott Davely, but it really didn't really work. He ends up losing a lot of time and a few positions as well, but still is in contention to get a better result than he had last time, where he was 7th. As the trackside, we continue to now follow Gonçalo Mota. Could we have our 4th different winner in 4 races, as Diogo Silva has not had the best of starts and is also holding up a little bit now. Darren Head and Simon Allen, who seem to have better pace right now on this opening lap. Let's follow Diogo Silva, and look at this. Scott Davely wants a piece of that action too. So we have 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, with Matthew Oliver in 6th place. Then Kev Allen already up into 7th. Kev Allen already up into 7th place, and David Emge in 8th. Now battle for 2nd place here. Gonçalo Mota is already almost a second ahead of these drivers. Then he's going to try to make another move like he did last time. This time around, Diogo Silva is having none of it and just shuts the door on him. But this is going to further improve Gonçalo Motta's position, as he is now open a gap of exactly 1 second. And Simon Owen is off. Simon Owen is off. He's traveling at high speed on the grass. He's going to surely lose all positions. Yes, he is, and this is a disaster for Simon Owen. The driver that finished in 4th place in race 1 is now sitting in 8th spot. And look at this, Darren Head. Darren Head is going on the outside. He is actually ahead on the start-finish side. They're basically side by side. Diogo Silva has got the inside line. I think he's going to get the job done. Yes, no, they continue to run side by side. They, well, this is great driving, but Gonçalo Motta must be loving it again. Here comes Diogo Silva now on the inside of the Heb in a bit of pushing and shoving. Can they go side by side there? Yes, they can go side by side, and Darren Head has to concede the position back to Diogo Silva. But look at this, the second that we were talking about, the gap to the leader is now double. This 2.1 seconds as these drivers running side by side is not really the ideal racing line around most of these corners, and Gonçalo Motta is running away with this race at this point. Scott Davely is in 4th place. Look at Kev Allen already up into 5th place. Nice recovery there by Kev. He overtook David Emke, we saw that, and also Matthew Oliver. In fact, there is a mighty battle there between Matthew Oliver and David Emke, which, well, David is currently ahead. And Simon Owen, where is he? He's 14 seconds from the leader. Diogo Silva made a mistake there, entering the back stretch. Surely this is going to hurt and provide an opportunity to Darren Head to make a move. He's too far behind at this point. 1.9 seconds is the gap now, so Diogo Silva and Darren Head, if they actually stop tangling with one another, they probably should work together to reduce this gap and then try to both attack Gonçalo Motta. Diogo Silva is all over the place in this final section, and the Darren Head is ready to pounce. This is a bad idea to try an overtaking move in the last corner, but Darren Head might be tempted. No, he's going to wait for the straight. He's going to wait for the straight, so this is again going to be interesting. Darren Head is not side by side this time. He's not side by side this time, but this is continuing to benefit Gonçalo Motta, although Gonçalo Motta now not such a great lap. Well, it was a great lap on 59.342, but the gap somehow has been reduced, so now it's just 1.6 seconds. Let's go back to our leader Gonçalo Motta. Let's go on board with Darren Head as he tries to get into that 2nd place. He still leads the championship. He's finished on the podium in every race and has won 1 and 2 second places, and he definitely wants that 2nd place to really strengthen his lead on this championship. Look at this, almost thought about making a move there, didn't quite work. Let's look for other battles. Scott Davely is running on his own. Kev Allen is running 3 seconds behind Scott, David Emge, and then is Simon Owen, and Matthew Oliver has lost another position. He's sitting in 8th place, but Simon Owen has some ideas of getting that 6th place, currently occupied by David Emge, and he's going to go, David Emge going defensive there, as he should, to protect his position. Now Simon Allen probably is going to go around the outside and then on the inside. Oh, and then look at this, it's being overtaken by he just completely left the door open there. Simon Allen and Matthew Oliver lost no time whatsoever. Oh, Simon Allen is off. Simon Allen is off. Simon Allen is off the track. Did he have any help? I don't think so. I think he just got surprised there by Matthew Oliver and then just accelerated a little bit too much. Yes, that's what happened. He doesn't like that advertising board, or that one for that matter. And he's now back in 8th place, so that's not a great lap for Simon Allen. He didn't do anything particularly wrong, but he did leave the door open, and then he made a mistake at the exit of the corner. That was enough to lose 2 positions there, and had almost thought about making a move there. Look at this now, the Gonçalo Motta has had a poor exit, very poor exit, and Diogo Silva is all over him. Now the lap times are not going to lie here, 2:004, and look at Diogo Silva, 1:59.002. that's the fastest lap we've seen so far in this round, I believe, unless I missed something faster. And Diogo Silva all of a sudden is contending for the win again, so we might have a repeat winner or we might have Gonçalo Mota as a first-time winner in this series. There he is, Gonçalo Mota, still leading this race, lap 4 out of 10. Diogo Silva seems to struggle now a little bit to remain as close as he was. Semenauer is up into 7th as he overtook Matthew Oliver again. Now going after David Emke again, and let's keep an eye on that battle. Other drivers, Scott Levy and Kev Allen, mostly running on their own, but it's really here that the action lies as Gonçalo Mota continues to lead this race, but it's really in the last sector that Darren and Diogo seem to get closer to Gonçalo Mota. The middle section, look at this, is a second ahead. Diogo Silva not doing a great job there of keeping his pace to be in contention. So Gonçalo Mota now found himself a little bit of breathing space as we are going to be in the midpoint of this race at the end of the next lap. Matthew Oliver has clearly had a problem as he's done a 2:08.9. Let's see how this pans out now in the last section. Gonçalo Mota, Diogo Silva and Darren Head, the top 3 in this race. Gonçalo Mota is going to lead another lap, 4 laps completed in this race, 4 laps led by Gonçalo Mota as he's chasing his first win of the season. Gonçalo Mota seems to have done a good lap, might be even be the fastest lap of the race by the looks of it. Look at this, now the action is behind him. The action is behind him. It's Darren Head again. Darren Head on the outside. Darren Head on the outside. He looks as if he's going to be ahead. Is he going to be ahead? Is Diogo Silva going to concede? Yes, he is, and he's sliding down. And look at this, from contender to the win. Diogo Silva is now in 3rd place. Darren Head, it's his turn now to put some pressure on Gonçalo Mota. The gap is 1.1 seconds, a little bit up due to Diogo and Darren's battle. Still everything open as we still not yet at the midpoint of this race. 4th is Scott Davely. 5th is Kev Allen, and Kev is slowly but surely getting to the back of Scott. We might have a battle later on for 4th place. 6th is Semenauer, and Semenauer did manage to overtake David Emke, so he's now in 6th place. Not the race that he wanted, but I'm not sure if he's going to manage to recover a lot more positions than this one. He's 10 seconds behind Kev Allen already. Then is David Emke, and then is Matthew Oliver. Let's go back to the race leader, because now the race leader has something red in his mirrors, and it's not a Ferrari. It is Darren Head's Mercedes, and Darren chasing his 2nd win of the season and still has 5 laps to do so. As Diogo Silva seems to be struggling a little bit, is losing a little bit of time now. He's losing a little bit of time. Another lap is in the books very shortly, as Gonçalo Mota has led all 5 laps of this race so far. Let's look at the lap times, but I'm encouraged by Gonçalo's pace. But Darren has had a mighty exit from that last corner. Surely he's gained some ground. It's a 1:59.5, which is not a bad time at all. But look at Darren Head, first driver we've seen into the 1:58s. Fastest lap of the race, fastest lap of the round, a 1:58.904. And that's a little bit of a statement with 5 laps to go, including this one, that Darren is saying, I want to win this race. And oh, look at this, Gonçalo Mota has had a problem. Darren Head has an easier time than he thought. Gonçalo Mota is trying to keep on to that lead, but he made a mistake at the exit of the hairpin, and it was an easy pass for Darren Head. Now Darren, what does he have under that bonnet? Can he actually open a gap and get himself a little bit of breathing space? But not for the first time this year. We are saying in this commentary, Darren Head is leading. He's leading this race. He finished 2nd on the opening race. He finished 1st in the 2nd race. He finished 2nd in the 3rd race. And he could be finishing 1st on the 4th race. What a championship Darren Head is having in this Mercedes DTM car. Meanwhile, Gonçalo Mota seems to be struggling a little bit already, 7-8 tenths of a second behind the Darren Head. and shortly could have Diogo Silva for company. And the effect we've seen with Darren and Diogo battling with one another and allowing Gonçalo Mota to open a gap, we could see it now with Darren Head being able to open a gap. Let's keep an eye on what's going to happen. Lap 6 about to be complete. Let's do a bit of a roundup. Scott Davey, 4th place, running on his own. 8 seconds behind the leaders and 8 seconds ahead of Kev Allen in 5th place. Kev Allen 8 seconds behind Scott. He is 4 seconds ahead of Simon Allen. They almost did identical times the last time round. 2:00.752 for Kev in 5th place, 2:00.829 for Simon in 6th spot. And we'll now see what happens this lap, because we want to have a representative sample of this driver's pace. Kev Allen crosses the line, it's at 2:08, so he actually lost a lot of time the lap before. Was it because he was off track? We don't really remember, but this car is so easy to make mistakes that it could well be that Kev Allen has had another off. Simon Allen, not a great lap time, 2:01.299, is slower than the leader of this race, Darren Head, who by the way has opened a 1.3 second gap. But Simon is actually getting closer to Kev, so we might still have a battle. 3 laps to go at the end of this one. Then it's David Emge, and David is well ahead of Matthew Oliver, who is struggling a little bit. He's off the track again. He's 1 minute and 13 seconds behind the leader. He's had an off moment in the last section of this circuit. But look at Darren Head, he's absolutely flying now, 1.3 seconds ahead of Gonçalo Mota. Diogo Silva did a good lap there, 2:00.0, almost a 2-minute flat. He's the fastest of the top 3, but that's a bit inconsequential because he's in 3rd place and we have 2 drivers ahead of him, so absolutely no track position. Let's look at the end of lap 7, what the lap times are. Seems to me that Gonçalo Mota is a little bit closer to Darren Head this time round, so he's probably gained some ground on the prior lap. Let's confirm that with the leaderboard. We have Darren Head crossing the line, 2:00.02, and well, Gonçalo Mota 2:00.08, so my eyes are deceiving me because I thought that Gonçalo was closer, but he's not. Also not closer is Diogo Silva, who is then at 2:01.483, so from fastest of the top 3, he is now the slowest of the top 3. They still continue together, kind of, but not really close enough to make moves at this point of the race. 3 laps to go, including this one. Let's keep an eye on the battle between Simon Allen and Kev Allen. They again did almost identical lap times, but again Kev crucially was faster than Simon on lap 7, 2:00.04 versus 2:00.566. Oh, and look at this, Kev Allen is on the grass. That's not going to help his cause. I don't think that he's going to be the fastest of the 2 drivers on this one, unless of course Simon makes a mistake. The gap is now being reduced to a couple of seconds, so definitely there's something brewing there, as Gonçalo Mota also is closer to Darren Head now. Lap 8 out of 10, only a couple of laps to go at the end of this one, so we'll have another 5-minute stops in this race, round 2 of the Wildcard Challenge. Of course, using the Mercedes 190E from the DTM, 90s DTM. A bit of a Marmite car. Some people love it, some people really don't like it, particularly on this simulation. It's not bad, but it could be so much better, as generally the console themes are not as advanced as the PC themes. Now, Darren Head, oh, Gonçalo Mota is off, Gonçalo Mota is off, Gonçalo Mota is off, and here comes Diogo Silva. Gonçalo Mota had a big moment there on entry of the last corner, and Diogo Silva surely is going to take this opportunity to go ahead or easy, because he's not completely side by side, he's almost side by side. Yes, he's going to go side by side into turn 1. Gonçalo Mota tries to defend, and successfully so. So interesting battle, and of course Darren is checking out. Oh, and Gonçalo Mota is off. Gonçalo Mota is off. And oh, and the big crash there. Big crash between the two drivers. What on earth happened there? What on earth happened there? These they are both coming back to the race. Here comes Scott Davely as well. But let's have a look at what on earth happened here. Chase camera with possibly Diogo Silva, who was the driver behind. I believe that Gonçalo Mota just had a moment, a big one, coming out of the first hairpin. Yes, he had. Was there contact between the two drivers? I don't think so. And then he's had a moment, he's going to accelerate too high, he's going to go into the grass, and then he's going to run right across the track, and oh, Diogo Silva almost got stuck there. Well, he got a little bit stuck there, he had to reverse. Now, where on earth is Scott Davely is the question. He's exiting the hairpin, so thankfully both these drivers had a bit of a cushion over Scott to retain their positions, but now this basically has handed the victory to Darren Head, as Gonçalo Mota will not be able to challenge that gap of 8.3 seconds on the last two laps. Basically, Darren Head is cruising now to his second victory of the season. Simon Allen is trying to get hold of Kev Allen, but not sure that's going to really happen at this point. So Darren Head is now comfortably in the lead. He's about to enter the last section of the circuit and going for his second win of the season, and his worst result is a second place. 2 second places. So what a statement by Darren Head. He could well be en route to winning this particular championship, which is a collection of 10 races. We have 8 of those over the year. This is the Wildcard Challenge, and Darren Head is very well positioned to win it, at least after the first 4 races. He's really on a championship of his own, and he's going to take the checkered flag again in first here at Snetterton and consolidate his championship lead. The checkered flag is in the air. Darren Head, oh no, it's not in the air because he still has to do another lap. I do apologize for this last lap for Darren Head. Second is Gonçalo Mota. Third is Diogo Silva. Where is Scott Davely? Scott Davely is not that far behind Diogo Silva. In fact, none of the drivers are actually that far from one another, but no serious wheel-to-wheel battles at this point of the race. There is Kev Allen in 5th, Simon Allen in 6th, and 7th is David Emge, and out of the race is Matthew Oliver. We hadn't seen this retirement, but he's not going to be able to be classified in this race as he has returned to the pits. Now Darren Head is on his last lap, and I believe it's just a matter of time before he is going to cross the line. Let's have a look at the gaps between drivers. No real possibility unless someone makes a mistake. There's Kev Allen. There is also Simon Allen. David Emge is around 30 seconds, a little bit more than 30 seconds behind Simon Allen, so he's not going to be in contention for 6th place either. Darren Head through the last section is heading for the win. Not an easy win for Darren Head today, but he did have to overtake Gonçalo Mota, and then he got a bit fortunate with Gonçalo Mota again running out of the track in the same spot twice at the exit of the first hairpin. The first time he lost the lead, and the second time he collided with Diogo Silva, and of course this put them both out of contention. They're still going to be second and third, so better result for Gonçalo Mota in this second race than in the first. Darren Head is going to take the checkered flag and win the race. Second place is Gonçalo Mota. Third place is going to be Diogo Silva. Another podium for the Portuguese driver who won race 1 and is third place of the season in 4 races. Fourth is Scott Davely. Fifth is Kev Allen, and 6th is going to be Simon Allen, completing the top 6 of this race. And this is David Emge. We have not seen a lot of him in the race, so we're going to take the last few corners with him on board. this magnificent Mercedes 190E. He cannot now improve or worsen his position. Just a few more corners to go. This is a really great part of the section where you really have to push hard without making a mistake, particularly the second part of this corner, and you can see that the tires are already not in the best of conditions. He needs to get into the line there. Yes, he does. Nicely done to the last corner, and he is going to complete the race in 7th spot. So that completes coverage of this round with Darren Head, Gonçalo Mota and Diogo Silva, your top 3. That was all from round 2. We shall see you in round 3 at Bathurst. Coverage will start very shortly on the same channel. Until then, it's bye bye.